Greetings and welcome, all you weary travelers and armchair philosophers. My name is Dan with a K, and the K is silent. I'm thrilled as usual for you to join us. We, all of us, are here to nerd out, to laugh, think a little bit, and just have a good time. On this channel, we will be discussing all things supernatural, paranormal, science fiction, and fantasy. You'll be hearing from my special guests who I invite on the show to share their answers to the topics I provide, and I think you're going to find them quite entertaining and maybe just a little bit informative. At the end of every episode, I invite you to write in your own answer so that you can participate as well. So now, I invite you to relax, grab a snack, unclench your jaw, and put up your feet and get ready to open your mind and test your beliefs as we explore high strangeness and the mysteries of the universe. The power to stop time. What are we talking about? Are we saying let's get technical and sciencey and gravity cancels everything and everything flies off into space? No, silly scientist. This channel's about fun. We're not here to be bummers and duds and downers. We're just here to say, what if? What if you could freeze everything around you in time except you yourself temporarily and move around and do cool stuff and then unfreeze it and then no one's the wiser? Wouldn't that be something? I mean, there's probably almost nothing you could even get arrested for. Need to take a nervous dump on a first date, but you've already sat down and ordered? No problem. Feel like skipping the long line for the bathroom? No worries. You come back and she casually mentions how nice you are compared to her ex, which she's still seeing off and on? You could literally skip out in the blink of an eye and not pay for her half of the bill. Think about it. 1 second she's talking about Ted the sexy drummer, and the next thing she's talking to an empty seat. And you swiped all the alcohol and the breadsticks. It's a win-win. You block her on all your socials, and she has a really weird story to tell her girlfriends about this disappearing act at the Olive Garden. So I asked my special guests what they would do. Were their answers as clever as the endless breadsticks? Let's find out. Hello, Max. How are things?
Things are good, thank you. I just bought a new bed for my poodle. She seems to like it all right. She's still growing, so she's getting used to new things as much as I am.
You know what? I know someone. I may have to put you in touch with him. He deals with pet furniture.
Sounds intriguing. Yes, please do.
Okay, Max. So we've spoken about UFOs, creatures, strange powers. Which of these topics do you find that you think about the most?
Well, last time we talked about supernatural abilities, I think that's very fascinating because, like you said, some of these things may be in the near future for us, and as an optimist, I think they could be used for good.
Well, here's another one for you for the day. Max, if you had the power to stop time or freeze time, as in everything and everyone around you stops, but you're free to move around, what would you do?
Is time stopped forever?
Oh, no, not at all. Just imagine maybe you had a wrist device that you wore and could push a button and time would start and stop.
Okay, I have to be very creative with this one. Okay. Now don't judge me for this. It's very sneaky, and I'm not normally a sneaky person, I assure you.
Okay, let me hear it.
I have always loved magic, ever since I could remember. When I was very little, I would watch magicians on television. Johnny Carson was a magician, by the way. I really love close-up magic. The stage magic is fun too, but everyone knows there's mechanics involved, and I respect that and all in the pageantry, but that's more entertainment than magic. But you know what I would do? I would combine the two. I would do both, up close and stage magic, only I would have a secret weapon. The wristwatch you mentioned. Does it have to be a watch? Could it be a fob or something small I could hide in my pocket?
Yeah, sure, why not? As long as you're holding it, you could freeze time, but not yourself.
I would do all sorts of impossible feats. I could walk through a wall. Just imagine I could freeze time and start it up, only now I'm literally standing on the other side. Teleportation it would be. Appear on one side of the stage with a prop and suddenly be on the other side. I could do it with close-up too. I could literally make things disappear. I know, it's cheating, but I'm just too old to take up the sleight of hand and such. I respect those guys tremendously. They're all really good at what they do, but they've also had decades, if not lifetimes, of practice. But you asked, so I'm telling you. Can you imagine that? I would be more famous than denim jeans or french fries.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, that would be totally beyond amazing if you could actually do that.
Right, and I could always do it in front of cameras and people. I mean, the people with the cameras could even slow down the footage later, and it would be like actual teleportation of some sort, like real magic.
Max, I gotta hand it to you. That's actually a really cool idea, but I like to play devil's advocate sometimes, and I'm gonna do it now.
Uh-oh, what do you have?
I really think that your high profile status would garner way more attention than just the adoring fans, and I have no doubt you'd have a cult following as well, but I really think that by doing that, you would not only attract the attention of rival magicians, but more importantly, and far more seriously, I think you would actually be monitored by a bunch of three-letter agencies. I mean, your power would be so obviously on display, because you're right, it would be actual teleportation to the eyes of anyone else that's just looking on. And that just doesn't happen in current physics, right? And I do believe that, like I said, every agency out there would be looking for a way to make you disappear.
Why do you gotta spoil my fun? Just let me have this fantasy.
I'm sorry, Max. No, it's actually a really cool idea. It's genius, and I wish I'd thought of it first. You get what I'm saying, though, right? Like if it could actually happen?
Well, that's still how I'd use it. Yes, there's 1,000,000,000 ways you could use this power to do all sorts of things which could benefit you or hurt others, but like I said, you asked, and I'm saying that that's what I do, and I'd love every minute of it.
Fair enough. Gunther, what an honor and pleasure to see you again.
You are too kind.
Whenever you're here, you have such philosophical answers. I'm always left with a sense of awe. I know you've spent your life in pursuit of knowledge and truth, and just always refreshing to get your take on things.
I say again, you are too kind.
So today's topic is rooted in perhaps supernatural or science fiction lore, but it's one I'm really curious to get your take on. Gunther, what would you do if you had the power to stop time?
Time, the fourth dimension. We are prisoners in our minds, and yet we are the only creature that is known who may travel backwards through memory or forward through imagination and fantasy. So, it would appear we are not totally prisoners, maybe just limited in our inability to evade the construct of time in our physical bodies. So then, if I had control over time, if I could stop everything around me and all living beings, but still be able to move about freely, I suppose I would try to get myself out of immediate danger. As you know, I love to travel the world to exotic locations and even places filled with people. Suppose I were to slip on a rock high on a hill or step in the road unwittingly with an unseen car racing toward my position. I suppose if the power were mine to control, I would use it to prevent my own demise. But therein lies the problem with violating the rules of nature and the universe. Am I supposed to yield such cosmic power? Would I be changing the other dimensions, which cannot be seen? Such higher dimensions would be disrupted, corrupted, even distorted, to the point that I may send ripples or waves across said dimensions, resulting in some kind of colossal cataclysmic event. So, I will say this. If there was a way to use this power without violating nature or without consequence, then yes, I would use it. But realistically, as the world is now, I simply cannot imagine such power.
My friend from Texas. How you doing, JD?
I'm well, sir. Good to see you, Mr. Dan. What have you got for me this time?
Well, sir, we've covered UFOs, werewolves and vampires, and even ghosts. Today's topic, though, is supernatural or sci-fi, if you will.
All ears.
What would you do if you had the power to stop time?
Now, that is a juicy one, Mr. Dan. That is, you know what that is? That's a ripe Georgia peach just gushing down my chin. Okay, so I imagine it's some kind of force field deal or something.
Yeah, like a watch you could wear and maybe push a button on and off, and it would affect everything around you and everyone around you, but not you.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And I can stop it for as long as I like, right?
Well, it's not meant to stop time forever. Say it would work for maybe up to an hour at a time, but like no more than that.
Okay, so let me tell you what I'd do. Now, remember last time when we talked about me sneaking into Area 51?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do you one better. And it's up for an hour, you say? Like maybe up to an hour? Could you make it a couple hours?
Okay, fine. For you, I'll give you an extra hour.
Okay, perfect. Now, this would take a lot of planning, mind you. Maybe even months of planning. I'd even do dry runs on my buddy. He's got more acreage than me, plus his sons can build me a mock-up.
I'm leaning in, JD.
I would get all the gold at Fort Knox.
What? How? Do you know how heavy a gold bar is? One gold bar? It's like 25 pounds.
I know it. I mean, I figured it'd be heavy. You gonna do the devil's advocate thing on me again, man?
Now, JD, I know this is just for fun. It's not real, it's just fantasy. But that just sounds like a lot.
I know it. That's why I got my buddy and his sons.
Yeah, but they would be frozen too. I don't know how you'd...
Okay, so we hit a snag, but you know what? We'd have to work that out. I mean, don't discourage me, man. It's my fantasy.
Let me ask you this. Why Fort Knox and all the gold? What about just a bank vault or something? Like somewhere that just stores a lot of cash?
I mean, well, yeah, that would work. That'd work all day, but there's no fun in it. It's too easy.
I see. You like a challenge. Like the Area 51 thing, I get it.
Yes, sir, like the Area 51 idea I got. Listen, you know I serve this country and I am a patriot through and through, but this is my fantasy. Let me have it, dude. I think I could figure it out.
No, I believe you. Where there's a will.
There's a way.
Okay, JD, before you go, do you work out?
Like lift weights? Hell yeah, I do. I can bench.
Sorry to interrupt. Seriously, how many times... I'm not even talking about bench pressing. Listen, how many times can you curl a 25-pound dumbbell?
How many reps can you get, Mr. Dan?
We're not talking about me. And yes, I can do as much as the next guy, probably. But I know you know what I'm getting at.
Yes, sir. You don't believe I could do it.
Okay, forget the muscles. Actually, no, don't. Say you nabbed only, you know those push carts, like the ones you use at Home Depot? Okay. Yeah, imagine you could theoretically fit enough gold bars on that thing. You know what? No. Not even that. Imagine that you had a cart like that and you only put, say, 20 bars on it.
That'd be 500 pounds.
500 pounds, yes. That's a lot of work. Could you settle for just a few bars?
What's the fun in that, Mr. Dan? If you're gonna go in, you go all in. Go big or go home, baby.
You're the best, JD. Listen. Okay. Hey, you know that Georgia peach you described? That's the bank vault with cash. What you're describing is just... Hey, have you ever had a pomegranate?
I think so.
You'd know it if you did. It's got a really nice, almost tropical flavor to it.
Yeah, okay, I think I've had that juice before. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, before you go out and forge your master plan, I want you to go to the supermarket, find a pomegranate, buy it, bring it home, slice it in half.
Why would you want me to do that?
Then, I want you to eat whatever fruit is actually in there.
Easy enough.
Stick to the peaches, man. Besides which, you can make a really good cobbler. Well, that's going to do it for this episode, my friends. What did you think? If you had the power to start and stop time, what would you do? What are your ideas? Tell us. Leave us a brief description of what you would do with this power in the comments down below. And before you go, please do me a solid, yeah? Like and subscribe to my channel. Share it with anyone and everyone you think would like it too. It would mean the world to me. Once again, I'm Dan with a K. been an absolute pleasure and an honor to have you with me today. Until next time, my friends, stay frosty and everything will be okay.